have a special skill for doing something? Maybe you're really good at gymnastics or baking or singing. Is there some skill that you would really, really like to learn, such as playing the flute, climbing a mountain, or flying an aeroplane? Hello everyone, I'm Kathleen Pelly. Welcome to Journey with Story. Today's story is a Brother Grimm's fairy tale, likely adapted by me, about 4 brothers who each learn a very special skill that helps them rescue a princess from danger. Thanks to all of you who have been sending us your drawings and to all the grown-ups who have been rating and reviewing this podcast. We really appreciate your support. And if you haven't already done so, you can rate and review this podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks ever so much. Let's take a journey with 4 clever brothers. "Dear children," said a poor man to his 4 sons, "I have nothing to give you. You must go out into the wide world and try your luck. Begin by learning some craft or another and see how you get on." So the 4 brothers took their walking sticks in their hands and their little bundles of belongings on their shoulders, and after bidding their father goodbye, they all went out the gate together. After some time they came to 4 crossways, each leading to a different country. The eldest brother said, "Here we must part, but this day, 4 years from now, we will come back to the same spot. In the meantime, each of us must try to learn what he can do for himself." So each brother went his way, and as the eldest was walking along the road, he met a man who asked him where he was going and what he wanted. "I am going to try my luck in the world and should like to begin by learning some art or trade," answered the brother. "Then," said the man, "come with me and I will teach you to become the most cunning of thieves that ever was." "Ah, no," said the brother. "That is not an honest calling, and what can one hope to earn by it except to be thrown into prison?" "Oh," said the man, "you need not fear being sent to prison, for I will only teach you to steal what will be fair game. I meddle with nothing that belongs to other people or that will land you in trouble." So the young man agreed to learn this trade. Soon he showed himself to be so clever that nothing could escape him once he had set his mind to have it. The second brother also met a man who asked him what craft he meant to follow. "Oh, I do not know yet," answered the young man. "Then come with me and be a stargazer. It is a noble art, for nothing can be hidden from you when once you understand the stars." The plan pleased the young man very much. Soon he became such a skillful stargazer that when he had served out his time and wanted to leave his master, the master gave him a special glass, saying, "With this you can see all that is passing in the sky and on earth, and nothing can be hidden from you." Now the 3rd brother met a huntsman who invited him to learn his craft. It was not long before this young man became skilled in the craft of the woods, and when it came time for him to take leave of his master, the master gave him a special bow, saying, "Whatever you shoot at with this bow, you will be sure to hit." Finally, the youngest brother likewise met a man who asked him what he wished to do. "Wouldn't you like to be a tailor?" "Oh, no," said the young man. "Sitting cross-legged from morning to night, working backwards and forwards with a needle and thread will never suit me." "Oh, answered the man. "That is not my sort of tailoring. Come with me, and you will learn quite another kind of craft from that." Not knowing what better to do, the youngest brother agreed to learn all that he could about tailoring. And when it came time to leave and set off back into the world, his master gave him a special needle, saying, "You can sew anything with this, be it as soft as an egg or as hard as steel, and the joint will be so fine that no seam will ever be seen." Now, after 4 years had passed, at the time agreed upon, the 4 brothers met at the 4 crossroads, and having welcomed each other, they set off towards their father's home, where they told him all that had happened to them and how each had learned some craft. The next day, as they were sitting before the house under a very high tree, the father said, "I should like to see what each of you have learned about your craft." So he looked up and said to the second son, "At the top of this tree there's a finch's nest. Tell me how many eggs there are in it." The stargazer took his glass, looked up and said, 5. "Now," said the father to the eldest son, "take away the eggs without letting the bird that is sitting upon them and hatching them know anything of what you are doing." So the cunning thief climbed up the tree and brought away to his father the 5 eggs from under the bird, and it never saw or felt what he was doing, but kept sitting on it at its ease. And then the father took the eggs and put 1 on each corner of the table, and the 5th in the middle. And he said to the huntsman, "Cut all the eggs in 2 pieces at 1 shot." The huntsman took up his bow, and at 1 shot struck all the 5 eggs as his father wished. "Now comes your turn," said he to the young tailor. "Sew the eggs and the young birds in them together again, so neatly that the shot shall have done them no harm." Then the tailor took his needle and sewed the eggs as he was told, and when he had done, the thief was sent to take them back to the nest and put them under the bird without its knowing it. Then she went on sitting and hatched them, and in a few days they crawled out and had only a little red streak across their necks where the tailor had sewn them together. "Well done, sons," said the old man. "You have made good use of your time and learnt something worth the knowing. Surely you will all find a way now to use your skills for a good purpose in the world." Not long after this, there was a great commotion and uproar in the country, for the king's daughter had been carried off by a mighty dragon, and the king mourned over his loss day and night, and made it known that whoever brought the princess back to him should have her for a wife. Then the 4 brothers said to each other, "Here's a chance for us. Let us try what we can do." And they agreed to see whether they could not set the princess free. "I will soon find out where she is," said the stargazer, as he looked through his glass, and he soon cried out, "I see her afar off, sitting upon a rock in the sea, and I can spy the dragon close by, guarding her." Then he went to the king and asked for a ship for himself and his brothers, and they sailed together over the sea till they came to the right place. And there they found the princess, sitting as the stargazer had said on the rock, and the dragon was lying asleep with his head upon her lap. "I dare not shoot at him," said the huntsman, "for I might kill the beautiful young princess also." "Then I will try my skill," said the thief, and went and stole the princess away from under the dragon so quietly and gently that the beast did not even know it, but went on snoring. Then They hurried off with the princess, jumped into their boat and set sail. But it was not long until they heard the mighty roar of the dragon flying overhead, ready to dive below and scoop up the princess in his scaly claws. But the huntsman immediately picked up his bow, took aim, and fired his arrow, piercing the dragon in his shoulder. Down, 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 he plummeted right on top of their boat, causing it to flip over and tossing them all into the waves, where they struggled to stay afloat upon a few stray planks from the bottom of the boat. So the tailor took his needle and with a few large stitches put some of the planks together, and he sat down upon these and sailed about and gathered up all the pieces of the boat and then tacked them together so quickly that the boat was soon ready, and they were able to climb aboard and set off for home once more. The king was overjoyed to be reunited with his dear daughter, and he said to the 4 brothers, "One of you shall marry her, but you must settle amongst yourselves who it is to be." Then there arose a quarrel among the brothers, and the stargazer said, "If I had not found the princess out, all your skills would have been of no use. Therefore she ought to be mine." "Your seeing her would have been no use," said the thief, "if I had not taken her away from the dragon. Therefore she ought to be mine." "No, she is mine," said the huntsman, "for if I had not killed the dragon, he would after all have torn you and the princess into pieces." "And if I had not sewn the boat together again," said the tailor, "you would all have been drowned. Therefore she is mine." I'm wondering, which brother do you think should marry the princess? Then the young princess herself spoke up and said, "Good sirs, I am grateful to all of you, but I have no mind to marry any of you. You have given me a taste for adventure, and so now I want each of you to teach me your crafts and skills so I can set off into the world to make it a better place. In return, I will have my father give each of you half a kingdom." The 4 brothers happily agreed to teach the princess all that they had learned. As it turned out, she became so skilled at all 4 of their crafts: stargazing, honest thieving, hunting, and tailoring, that the 4 brothers were able to spend the rest of their days taking good care of their father and her father the king. Meanwhile, the princess set off into the world, using her newly learned skills to make the world a little better and a little brighter for all she met. So, which one of those skills would you like to learn, I wonder? And I wonder, what adventures our princess encountered as she set off into the world with her new skills? That might make for a fun story for you to write or tell or act out. Don't forget, send us your drawings so we can share them with others at www.journeywithstory.com. Cheerio then. Join us next time for Journey with Story. Music and post-production was by Colette Jonas.